On this episode of Cape Media News, DY High goes green, Harwich Community Center gets Quackin, and Cape Library Catalog Systems gets a new update. These stories and more tonight on Cape Media News. Good evening and welcome to Cape Media News, your source for hyperlocal news that matters. I'm Maxie Davidson. Climate change is an issue on everyone's mind, and especially for our younger generations. But students at Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School will now be able to learn how to live sustainably with their new proposed Eco Campus. For more on this, Cape Media News' Mitch Stock.
Last week, the Cape Cod Technology Council hosted a coffee Q&A Zoom meeting with Brian Bragington-Smith, the Executive Director of the Lewis Bay Research Center, to talk about the development of the Cape Cod Watershed Institute, as well as a living laboratory for experiential learning in a net zero campus at his alma mater, Dennis Yarmouth High School.
This is sort of a compilation of our lab and is the subject of the DY Watershed Institute, moving the whole facility over to DY campus to create a center for experiential learning, workforce training, and education on the 21st century challenges and how we can bring Cape Cod into the 21st century and take a leadership role in this global crisis.
While the discussion's focus was highlighting the new eco-campus, Smith used this time to express concerns over many growing issues on the Cape.
This is an image of net zero construction. Now you look at it and you're saying, oh, that doesn't look like, a little quaint cottage. No, it's not. We can't afford quaint cottages anymore. We can't afford single family residences. We got to have housing. We've got a crisis here where people are desperate to find some place to live. And our regulations and our focus is causing the problem, not helping the problem. If we had dealt with this issue starting in 1993, we wouldn't be in the crisis that we're in. We got to change our attitude and we've got to change our worldview to reality.
Though many topics were discussed, one issue, Cape Cod's watershed problem, stood out, not only for Smith, but for participants as well.
Okay, so this map is really the problem and the answer. What you see here is Cape Cod, and what you see, all of these little boxes and squiggly lines in the yellow, that delineates the watersheds on Cape Cod. If we don't deal with things on a watershed-based level, we're not solving the problem. And the problem is that the EPA, the county, and a number of folks have decided that there's only one watershed on Cape Cod. They call it the Cape Cod watershed. And the problem is that it's not one watershed. There are nearly 60 watersheds. And by ignoring those boundaries and ignoring those parameters, we are never going to be able to solve the problem.
I'm also sharing your sadness about the water quality on Cape Cod. And what's going to happen in this first year relative to education and relative to impacting local water? Because one of the things that frustrates me incredibly about our comprehensive wastewater management plans is this 30-year timeline. I probably won't be here. I want to know, what can I do today? What can my community do in the next year? How can we make a difference in Cape Cod water in the next year?
I've been at this for over 30 years. And the only thing that I've ended up with is a whole bunch of arrows in my back. So I don't have hope that I'm going to live to see whether or not we deal with this crisis. So I'm asking you to help me. We need to mobilize. Like you said, that comprehensive wastewater management plan, that's nothing but kicking cans down the road. The problem is that we've got such a pile of cans that we've kicked down the road that we can no longer get past them. What we keep running into, this is DEP, this is the local boards of health, this is the town officials. They don't want to hear this, and they're continuing with the same old. The comprehensive wastewater management plan is nothing but a 19th century boondoggle. They're focused on solutions that are no longer relevant.
We have to convince the town council and the boards of selectmen. Is that where we go?
That's where we need to go. And the reason that we need to go there is because they've been getting disinformation. If you look at the historical track record, the way that the engineering community has dealt with wastewater is to get away with whatever we can get away with for the least cost. How we don't want to spend any money. If you want to do it cheaply, you got to have one giant treatment plant. Well, you saw that watershed map. You're just causing the problem. You're not solving the problem. We need to create distributed solutions. What we're doing on the energy side, we need to be doing on the water side.
For Cape Media News, I'm Mitch Sock.
Be sure to watch the full discussion on the Cape Cod Technology Council YouTube channel. The Chatham Planning Board will hold public hearings on 3 proposed protective bylaws at 5 p.m. on Monday, February 27th in the large meeting room at the Town Office Annex. The proposed amendments all pertain to West Chatham. The first proposes West Chatham Neighborhood Center zoning. The second, a zoning map amendment for the West Chatham Neighborhood Center District. And the third proposes amendments to the R20 zoning district, runway protecting zone. In accordance with town policy, the public can speak to any issue or business item on the agenda during the meeting when recognized by the chair. The final proposed protective bylaw amendments will be added to an upcoming select board agenda for consideration for placement on the 2023 annual town meeting warrant. After a lengthy and longer than anticipated process, the Town of Yarmouth's Board of Selectmen voted to appoint a new fire chief last week. For more on this, here's Cape Media News' Ryan Downs.
The process to find a new fire chief in the town of Yarmouth has been underway for almost a year now. After Fire Chief Simeon retired, the Board of Selectmen launched a search for the next chief using an outside source of experts to help the process.
I don't have any regrets about the length of this process, because I think at the end of that process, we got the candidate that I think the board was looking for. It took time, took extra time. So sometimes the process takes longer, but if you find that candidate that is the perfect fit for you, it's well worth the delay, and that's how I feel about this process.
As of February 14th, 4 candidates have emerged as top prospects for the position, each with years of experience and a profound sense of commitment to the safety and well-being of the community.
The candidates that have been presented to us, Jeffrey Verone, Scott Smith, Jonathan Sawyer, and Enrique Arasque.
While each candidate has their own unique strengths, it was clear to the board that amongst the 4, there was one in particular that stood out in every category.
I have nothing negative, but nothing but high praise for each of the candidates that presented their application to serve in this capacity. They all have their own set of strengths. They all have their own set of weaknesses. But in looking at, quite frankly, each of the applications and each of the, and all the material that's been presented to us, there is one candidate in the assessments where you see the words superior, you see the words exceptional, you see the words strong mentioned frequently in the assessment that's presented to us.
After further deliberation, the board came to unanimous vote to appoint Captain Enrique Arasque of Osterville Marston's Mills, the new chief of fire for the town of Yarmouth.
Those reasons, I'm prepared to vote for Enrique as the next fire chief. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of Selectmen appoint Enrique Arasque as our next fire chief.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have 2 seconds. See that? They still want to vote for 2. Okay, any further discussion before we vote? Because of the importance of this vote, I'm going to do a roll call vote. Selectman Forrest.
I vote aye.
Dan.
Aye.
Dorcas.
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. So unanimous vote.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Arasque graciously accepted the position and made a short speech addressing the board.
All right, thank you. Thank you all very much
I'm so appreciative. I'm humbled and I'm honored. I want to thank my wife, my family, my friends, and certainly a lot of my colleagues that have helped me get here. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I will work very hard with all the men and women of the Yarmouth Fire Department and all of you to make a fire department that we can all be proud of. Thank you very much.
For more on the town of Yarmouth, go to yarmouth.ma.us. For Cape Media News, I'm Ryan Downs.
2 Pokemon-themed events are coming to South Yarmouth Public Library for families who want to catch 'em all. On Saturday, February 25th, the library will be holding a family fun day where kids will make their own tasty Jigglypuff Punch and Pikachu Twinkie treats from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Family Fun Day is a free program for community members of all ages and recommended for ages 8 and up. Children under the age of 8 will require parent participation. South Yarmouth Public Library will also be celebrating Pokemon Day, February 27th, with a special Pokemon-themed craft for teens aged 12 through 18. This crafting event will take place from 5 to 6 p.m. All supplies needed to create a terrarium home for your very own PokePal, as well as snacks, will be provided. Supplies may be limited, so the library recommends you sign up for the events at yarmouthlibraries.org to ensure everyone can participate. Coming up after the break, Harwich ducks around and more. Stay tuned.
For over 50 years, Elder Services of Cape Cod and the Islands has been finding creative solutions to ensure we can all thrive as we age. We are your connection to the resources you need to stay safe, healthy, and independent.
Cape Cod and the Islands can be a great place to grow older. Every town in our area has a robust and vibrant council on aging. And then there is us, Elder Services. We are the regional access point for federal and state-sponsored programs designed to support us while we age.
Our agency coordinates home-delivered meals, manages home health care and personal services, supports family caregivers, offers meaningful volunteer opportunities, investigates allegations of abuse and neglect, and so much more. Please visit our website to learn more before you need us, or call us if you need services now.
The Harwich Community Center hosted their annual Find a Duck event this week, and the Cape Media News team entered the Decorated Duck Contest. RTD, or Ryan the Duck, is the newest member of Cape Media News, and he's very excited to get to work. For more, here's Ryan, not the duck, Thompson.
Hi, welcome to Cape Media News. I'm Christian Garnett. So Ryan is here to talk to us about the ongoing bread crisis. Ryan, what do you think about this? I can't disagree with that.
You might be wondering why there's a duck reporting the news. During the month of February, the Harwich Community Center has been holding their Decorate a Duck event in order to showcase some of the creativity in the community.
So the duck event is really set up to provide some kind of opportunity for families or individuals to show their creative side. And what better than a duck? I mean, it starts out fun, you can only make it more fun.
In light of the event, the team here at Cape Media News decided to get in on the fun and decorate our own duck. Content producer Christian Garnett took on the task of decorating the duck, which he named Ryan the Duck, in honor of the other 2 Ryans on the news team. Christian transformed the rubber duck into a news reporter with a microphone in hand and a news hat on its head.
Obviously, his outfit is based on my own. White shirt, brown hat, brown hat. The props were all made with flashcards, and I used a series of markers and pens to make the designs. Sadly, he's not going to be here at the Cape Media Center for very long. We have to go to Harwich now to bring him to the event that he was created for. Goodbye, Ryan.
On February 18th, Christian headed to the Harwich Community Center to submit Ryan the Duck and got to see the other creative submissions to the competition. The decorated ducks have been on display for the past few days, and people have been casting their votes for their favorites.
They're unbelievable, from whether it was an individual young child who did it or a whole family. the creativity, it really puts me to shame. I can come up with the duck idea, but I couldn't come up with a single one of those.
This event has been a great success, with people from all over the community showing off their creativity and love for rubber ducks. The winners will be announced soon, and the ducks will remain on display for a little while longer before they go back to their regular duties of floating in bathtubs and swimming pools.
Will we do it again? For sure. We might do different categories, different age groups. That's the best thing about one of these events. We can always learn and grow from it. We just gave out the original ducks with nothing on them and told people to use their creativity. And it's amazing what happens when you let someone go free and go wild. So,
for Cape Media News, I'm Ryan Thompson.
Students in the Dennis-Yarmouth School District are on vacation this week, and last Friday, February 17th, was the last official school day for DY District schools Ezra Baker Elementary, Nathaniel H. Whitson Middle, and Mattakees Middle. The schools have served the community and countless individuals dating back to 1932, when Ezra Baker opened. And as one door closes, another one opens. When classes resume on March 1st, students between grades 4 and 7 will now be attending the newly constructed DY Intermediate Middle School. While the school's construction began in mid-2021, it has taken just under 2 years to complete. It features smart classrooms, a state-of-the-art gymnasium and cafeteria, spacious sports facilities, and an auditorium dedicated to the late DY High School principal, Ken Jenks. The school's modern design and energy-efficient systems provide comfort learning environments to support each student's academic and personal growth. The new school is a testament to the community's commitment to provide quality education to all of its students. With its top-notch facilities and dedicated staff, the new middle school will proudly become a center for excellence. Join Improv Cape Cod at the Cape Media Center on March 2nd through the 4th and 9th through the 11th for evenings of sketch comedy written, directed, and performed by Cape Cod actors and comedians. From old Hollywood goofballs and friendly kaiju monsters to dueling cowboys and dancing dogs and everything in between, this sketch comedy show is sure to make you laugh. For more information and ticket info, visit improvcapecod.com. The poster art, created by local illustrator Mike Regan, offers a glimpse into the content of the show, and cowboys fighting kaiju should not be missed. Every February, we take the time to recognize and celebrate the rich and diverse history and contributions of Black Americans. In commemoration of Black History Month, the Cape Cinema held a screening of short films by African-American writer James Baldwin, followed by a panel discussion with prominent members of the community. Cape Media News' Christian Garnett has more.
James Baldwin Abroad was a special screening of 3 short films that played at Cape Cinema on Wednesday, February 15th. Each film followed American writer James Baldwin as he spoke on topics related to race, racism, homosexuality, and more. The name of the event, James Baldwin Abroad, refers to Baldwin's time in Istanbul, Paris, and London, where each of the short films were shot. The screening of these restored documentaries was followed up by words from a lineup of panelists, including Tara Vargas Wallace from Amplify POC, Barnstable County Sheriff Donna Buckley, Cape Cod and the Islands District Attorney Robert Galaboy, Ayana Parent from Be Well Wellness, Attorney Muska Youssef, Poet Tamara Israel, and Pauline Jones, a community advocate.
And I'm sorry to say that I feel like I have to take my kids out of sandwich school systems because I can't fight that fight for them anymore. I can't. They don't want to fight, and I can't make them fight because I want them to fight. So I have to move them somewhere that they feel safe, which is with our people, which is the Mashpee.
These community leaders, activists, and artists each brought thoughtful and personal stories to the panel regarding race, racism, and division in both the United States and in our global society. Of course, division and racism exist on the Cape as well, which was addressed by each panelist. Throughout the night of the event, Erica Haidas from Belonging Books held a pop-up shop in Cape Cinema's lobby to sell books aligned with the goals of the event. Belonging Books' mission is to celebrate the voices and stories of underrepresented communities of Cape Cod through literature for all ages. Rachel Carey Harper also contributed to the event with the Dragon Line Project, an art installation meant to bear witness to violence against people of color, and to draw attention to ordinary people of color who have accomplished extraordinary things. To close the event, poet and activist Tamora Israel took to the stage with her original poem, Who We Are, which was originally written for Away with Words 2021.
You know, I used to be an optimist. Man, I used to bathe in hope like a Baptist, holding my nose closed as I fall backwards, letting the droplets of perceived perceptions move out the moments when my black is too dark to blend in. But I made space for myself. We all did. We had to. We had to blend in, to eat, to make money, to stay alive. We've been mastering white spaces since we was yay high, forcing ourselves into a system that was built without bondage in mind.
This panel discussion and screening both took place in honor of the life and legacy of James Baldwin, and as a supplement to Black History Month. I'm Christian Garnett, and this is Cape Media News.
The Hyannis Marathon, Half Marathon, 10K, and Marathon Team Relay are coming up next weekend, March 3rd through the 5th. While the marathon isn't until Sunday, the weekend kicks off with the Hanlon Shoe 5K Fun Run Friday night at 7 p.m., followed by a casual dinner and drinks at Palio Pizzeria. On Saturday, runners can pick up their packets and attend a pasta dinner party with special guest, 1972 Olympic gold medal winner Frank Shorter. The fee for the dinner is $20, and there will be a cash bar. Those interested in the dinner are encouraged to order tickets ahead of time due to food order constraints. And now for a look at the week ahead. The Cape Library catalog systems went through a major overhaul this week. News Director Mitch Sock visited the Osterville Village Library on this week's edition of Cape Media News Insights.
Hello and welcome to Cape Media News Insights. I'm Mitch Sock. Joining me today is Davis Hanberry, Patron Assistance Manager at the Osterville Village Library. Davis, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
So can you tell us a little bit about the CLAMS catalog and maybe just a little bit about how it's worked in the past?
Sure. So I'd like to just begin by saying that CLAMS leadership is always looking to improve our service for our patrons. And that's why we're going through this whole migration process. They've done a fantastic job of giving us the resources necessary to help you guys out and able to really get things going come the 27th. So the old system Encore has become a little bit dated in its use. No partial searches. We have no access to our e-catalogs through Libby. The holds are difficult to view. You know, the list can go on and on, but the system has become a little antiquated, so that's why we're excited to move on to Aspen to provide a better user experience for our patrons.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Aspen Discovery is and why you're changing to the catalog?
Sure. So Aspen Discovery is a very powerful discovery system that is going to allow the CLAMS network to fully integrate our e-content into one location. So instead of you having to open up 3 different tabs in your cell phone to access all of our available resources, you can now get this all into one location. It's going to easily allow patrons to view their holds list, change account information. It's going to allow them to do partial searches, which is huge. So you can type in half of a book name and it'll pop up instead of having to do exact type in of the title. The search features are very advanced. You can do recommended from your search history, your favorites, your lists. The possibilities are endless.
So what information is going to transfer over to the new system?
So patrons can rest assured that their library card and account information is going to transfer over. Their holds list will transfer over. Their Libby materials that they have checked out are going to transfer over. Their reading lists will transfer over, and other e-content will transfer over.
So what information won't transfer to Aspen?
So the information that won't transfer over, sadly, is your password and PIN, but you will be prompted when you first log in to the new system to enter a new password. Bookmark pages won't transfer over. Your lists won't transfer over. The Commonwealth catalog items you've checked out won't transfer over. I do believe that is everything.
So what do community members need to know about the changeover?
So community members need to know when we're switching over to the new system come the 27th of February that when you log in to the system for the first time, you will need to enter in your full library card number and the last 4 of your phone number on file. So we are happy to help you get that information if you don't have it yet, but that is important for logging in. From there, you may need to log in to all of your content apps again, such as Libby and other sources that your library provides you. They might sign you out. Besides that, it's just going to be a vastly improved system that we're looking forward to rolling out for you guys.
So how can members access their accounts after the migration has taken place?
So after the migration takes place, you can log into clamsnet.org and it will redirect you to the new website that they've put together, and then you will select your home library. From there, you will click the sign in button, you put in your full barcode number, the last 4 of your phone number. You've now signed to the system. You'll be prompted to enter a new password, and you can start having fun looking and getting out new books.
And lastly, as somebody who uses this system daily, what excites you most about it?
The most exciting thing that I am looking forward to in this system is honestly the partial searches, because as I'm behind the desk there all day, and if someone's only know part of a title, instead of me going to Google and having to get the exact title for you, it's just right there in the system. The other exciting thing is having all the e-content on one location is huge. That allows you to see our full catalog instead of having you have to go in multiple locations to try and get everything. So those are my main things. And there's some customization features, but I won't bore you with the details.
No, go ahead.
So we're able to add more custom lists for our systems. So I haven't taken the class yet. That's going to be available to us on the 8th. So once we get through that, I'll be able to, reveal more. But up until then, it's just more customization per library, which is great.
Well, great. Well, Davis, thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Be sure to catch the full interview on Comcast Channel 99 next week. Thank you for joining us this evening, and tune in next week for more hyperlocal news that matters. For Cape Media News, I'm Maxie Davidson.